So it's a Friday night. What are you planning on doing?
You are now listening to Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Let's get into it.
Episode 74, Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. We are almost to our fucking, what do they call that? 75 is, I can't remember the fucking term for it. Anyway, I think that's in years. But we're almost there, man. Almost fucking there. It is about 43 degrees out in this motherfucker. I fucked up and for some reason wore the basement Crocs, the mixing Crocs, out to the fucking garage. So now my fucking toes are freezing. You know, the plight of a fucking outdoor of a fucking garage caster. So this week, I brought back, well, it's not back yet. It's fucking being mixed right now. The pink alcohol is coming back for a little bit, for a little fucking around. And Rust is coming back soon with a little mix, a little help from Club Ghoul. Kind of I'm trying to do a different, a little different mix. I'm not changing what's already in it. There's not going to be any less of anything in there, just a little bit more. Try to add a little bit of bite to it. So that'll be coming out, I don't know, probably sometime at the beginning of next week. Just because I got to fucking work the next 2 days and I really don't have the time to keep an eye on this shit while I fucking mix it up. Because I'm not really sure what it's going to do. So kind of want to be there, you know, and not fucking set it and forget it. So, you know, when you're fucking with that kind of shit, you know. I'm trying to think of what the fuck has happened this week. I'm reaching out to some people for some collaborations. I actually got my first denial, which was, made me feel good that the guy at least even fucking opened it and was like, nah, this thing, nah, I don't do that. Which he does do that, but I mean, and I'm not saying he does do that like fucking, like trying to tell him that's not what he does, but I mean, I think he just kind of misunderstood what I was asking of him, and I don't know, that's what I think anyway, unless he just doesn't work with people, period, and that's what he meant, then that could be. But what I was asking of him is what he does, and that's why I asked him. So maybe that's what he meant. I'm not really sure. So I'm trying to get a couple of projects together and see where that goes. I don't know, man. I'm fucking cold. I was thinking all day again for like the 10th fucking week in a row. I'm like, all right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. And I really want to get someone on this motherfucker soon. It's tough. It really is. It's tough to fucking bait people into coming out to this cold ass fucking garage. You know, I'm not an idiot. I understand that it's tough to fucking do that. So, I understand. I do understand. But I'm trying to get my ma or fucking get Erica or someone like that, because the stories that we would tell would just be great. They'd just be great stories. And I know you guys love great stories. And I don't see why, you know, I don't know. I think it would be good. But I can't get the motherfuckers out here. I just asked Erica fucking 5 minutes ago before I came out here. I'm like, yo, you want to come and sit down? And she said, nope, nobody wants to hear me. And I was like, all right. Well, so then here I am. And then I'm like, oh, shit. what the fuck was I going to talk about today? And then I said, oh, yeah, that's fucking stupid. You know, whatever. Whatever. So, I was just reading a fucking email from eBay talking about fucking the item you were watching. You better go bid on it right now. Bitch, I ain't buy that shit because it was fucking, I could tell it was fucked up. Anyway, trying to think of what else happened. Not a real lot has been going on, man. It's been fucking slow. It's been slow all the way around. I'm trying to bring out some new shit. Been looking up product. Been looking up different manufacturing ideas for the rosary scribes, since those are always a big hit, and you know, a lot of people miss those when they come out, or they find out about it later, and I've made the process of making them a little bit easier on myself, but it's still a pain in the fucking ass, and I'd like to make them out of better materials, and I've even actually kind of toyed around with the idea of making them from scratch, kind of making everything myself with I hit the shit with better components and shit. But I don't know. I'd have to see. I'd have to figure out how you do that, because it's kind of, it's not just a necklace. It's got that extra little shit, and I don't know. They got a look about them that fucking, I'm sure it's possible. Believe me, I'm sure it's possible. I just had to kind of figure it out. So maybe that might be something in the future. Maybe get some of that fucking Kevlar, twine or Kevlar or whatever the fuck it is, and make it, if you wanted to strangle someone with it, you could, I guess, with those clasping fucking magnetic clasps and shit, so it doesn't rip your head off if you get it caught in a car door or something like that. Those kind of things. A lot of stuff, a lot of thought goes into some of this shit that I make here. You can't just fucking, you can't just make something that could accidentally rip someone's fucking head off. And I know it doesn't sound like it could, but it can. Especially even with paracord, a 550 paracord will rip your fucking head right off if it gets caught on something. It's 550-pound test, man. That shit will fucking cut right through the skin, fucking separate your goddamn fucking spine. Anyway, things you gotta think about when you're making stuff. We don't want to be decapitating people. Well, we don't want to be decapitating the users. That's for sure. The people who they're being used against, hey, I don't know. Good luck. Good luck, fam. Or not. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, nah, I don't know. I'll wait till I talk about that. I was gonna tell you something stupid, but I gotta wait until I see what happens, and then we'll see where it goes. I shouldn't say anything. I really want to, but I can't. And I was listening to the Graffiti Machine podcast right before I came out here, when I was getting some orders together, and actually finishing up with the machine order, and Bus was talking about ghost stories and shit, and I was like fucking really digging that episode. So if you're listening, I thought that shit was great. So the whole episode was great. So I know you kind of get on yourself about getting off track or whatever, but I think you kill it when you go off and talk about things. As you can tell, that's all I ever do. So maybe that's why I enjoy it. It's always good to be, to talk about what you're going to talk about too, but you actually don't have a problem with going off topic. It's not like, oh, there he goes, going again. Kind of like me. You're not like me. So I recommend it. Keep it up. And if you got more ghost stories, I'll fucking love to hear them. That's, I wish I had some. I told the only kind of real paranormal thing that ever really happened to me, and that was after that kid died in the car accident that my mom sat with, and then the subsequent things that happened with that. But I always growing up, I always fucking wish something would happen to me, like some paranormal shit. Like I remember once, and this is fucking stupid. I shouldn't even tell anybody about this, let alone everybody. I was so fucking drunk one night that I was looking. There was a what the fuck was it? A dust mask, like for a fucking, like for sanding and shit. I had a dust mask hanging from a speaker that was in my room at my ma's house, and I was so fucking drunk that I was trying to move it with my mind, right? And I was just laying there, like fucking concentrating and focusing on this fucking dust mask, like fucking move, doing whatever I thought in my drunken fucking mind, doing whatever I thought. I was like, yeah, I'm about to fucking, that shit's gonna move. And I fucking, to this day, I think that motherfucker, it moved a little bit. Now, again, I was all fucked up. I was all fucked up to the point where I thought I could fucking, I had fucking telekinesis or whatever the fuck. So if that goes to tell you anything, and I was I'm assuming that if I was that drunk, that means I was actively in my prescription pill addiction, which, when I think about it, I don't really know if I was actually, I mean, I probably was addicted to prescription pills, but I don't know. I can't really say, because I always had like loads of fucking pills, and I never went without them until I just stopped taking them. So I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I always had these shits. So I never, and I took all kinds of shit when I was it was because when I worked it out, I figured out what probation tested for when I was in rehab, and shit, probation was even less. So I figured out what the rehab tested for. And I say I figured it out. I fucking social engineered the paperwork. I don't know. Did I tell you guys that? I'm not really sure. I told him that my dad didn't believe me that I was clean and off of drugs and shit, and I wanted to bring him proof that I was. And so they fucking printed out my last drug screen that they sent to a lab, and it showed everything that I tested for. So I knew. I was like, oh, okay, they test for this, and I was like, shit. Let's fucking get it cracking, bitch. They don't test for alcohol. They didn't test for benzodiazepine. They didn't test for, well, they did test for opiates, but apparently it just never hit. I don't know. The more I think about it, because it did say opiates, but I was so fucking naive during that time that I don't really know if I knew that, like, hydrocodone and Percocet and shit, or hydrocodone and oxycodone and Vicodin and Percocet, I didn't know that those were considered opiates. So maybe it just worked out that way. But no, the more I think about it, I didn't start taking pills until I worked at the factory. So no, so in rehab I wouldn't have been taking. I used to take cyclobenzaprine, for just because I had easy access to it, but I would only take it like sometimes. So I'm thinking when I was in rehab, I wasn't taking pills. I was just drinking, but I knew I could take the cyclobenzaprine. Yeah. So it's, as I'm putting it all back together, this is 20 years ago. So I'm trying to think, because I took my first drugs, like the Vicodin and all that shit, when I started working at the factory, and that was like 06. I think it was 06. And then I started being an alcoholic in 03. That's when I started my alcohol problem and fucking smoking cigarettes. And I started smoking cigarettes in rehab. So that was I stabbed everyone in 03. So I think I started probation in 04, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So I was off probation not fucking very long when I met Erica, which is fucking crazy to think about. And Anyway, so I figured out what they tested for, and I knew what I could do and what I couldn't do. And but when I started doing pills, at work and just in regular life and shit, I was like fucking. I used to take I had a whole different little cocktail of shit I used to just bring everywhere. I'd have fucking Xanax, Valium, Cyclobenzaprine, which is Flexerol, hydrocodone, and I love fucking Percocet. I really love that shit. I think everyone does still to this day. But that wasn't as easy to get in the city. I didn't know the right people. Vicodin is easier to get, hydrocodone, and then once I got to the factory, I could only ever get these 7.5 Percocets that kind of had this cool oval shape. So I used to hoard those and take them on special occasions. Fucking loser. And but when I stopped taking fucking pills, I just like stopped. And I was just like, yeah, not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this anymore. And I didn't. And then I just stopped taking them, and then I got rid of them because I didn't fucking need them anymore. So I sold them all. But I think what my point is I don't know. I never felt that withdrawal kind of thing, right? I never felt that. I never felt like, oh, I need this. I'll suck your dick, bro. You know, I never had that feeling. I always had money. I bought drugs. I didn't need them. If someone was like, yo, I got this, I was just give me all of them. I want all of them. Just give it to me. Whatever. I'll buy the whole bottle. Yep. I was living at home. I was living at home selling drugs and fucking and making good money at this factory. So it was like I just bought whatever I wanted. And but the time when I felt addicted, which made me quit pills, was when I fucking flipped out after my son was born. And so I flipped out. Oh, excuse me. I flipped out and I'm trying to think of how this went. I flipped out, and then I got on antidepressants through the doctor's office, and they put me on Atarax. Is that what the shit was called? They tried Buspar, and then I think it was called Atarax or something like that. But the fucking Atarax shit, if that's what it was, it like made my fucking brain tingle. It was weird. I didn't really like it. So I couldn't deal with me fucking flipping out, and I just said fuck it. I stopped taking that shit, and then I started taking drugs. And I was like going fucking crazy for a while. And then when I stopped, that's when it was like real bad. And that's when my mama came and picked me up because I was living at the apartment then. And I was all fucked up. And my mom came and picked me up, and I just fucking went and stayed at their house for the night. And she just kept bringing me these big ass cups of ice water and shit. And I was fucking wilding and sweating. And then the next day I felt okay. And then the next day after that, I was like, toots, I'm off of that shit. We ain't ever going back there again, motherfucker. And that was in October of 2011. And then after the January following is when I fucking stopped doing everything altogether. But I don't know how I really couldn't even fucking tell you how the fuck I got here right now. I don't know why the fuck I start talking about doing drugs. Maybe I'm thinking about doing drugs. Maybe it's on my mind or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that shit. But maybe that was something I was thinking about. Shit, I remember the one time, Jimmy the Ghost remembers the one time I was all fucked up taking these fucking 15 milligram fucking Roxy's or some shit it was called. And I fell asleep at the computer with the fucking pistol in my hand, like just fucking, I don't know why the fuck I had a gun, and fucking Jimmy, I didn't fall asleep, I fucking nodded the fuck out to completion. And Jimmy had to come over and like take the gun out of my hand and shit. I mean, that's no position you should ever put your friends in. So, well, I guess that's about it. I gave you guys an update and talked like a fucking junkie for a few minutes. So, hey. But I'm fucking cold and I gotta make dinner still, and I still gotta pack these orders, and I got no fucking time in the morning. So, alright everybody, thanks for tuning in again. I'm really trying to get a guest. I'm trying to get some new shit together. So fucking hang in there. I love you all. Be good.